Welcome back, everybody. Today we are going to watch the 5 worst neighborhoods in Europe. Are they in Berlin? Is any of them in Germany? Probably not. If I had to guess, one is in Romania, one in France, one in Britain. Europe is not only European Union. Maybe Moldova, 4, 5. I don't know. Last one is Bulgaria. Let's see.
You might didn't know this, but there are many crappy neighborhoods in Europe,
What is that? That looks like Africa.
and in some cases, it's even called ghetto. So obviously,
Ooh.
this is a topic of today's video. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video and check out 5 worst neighborhoods in Europe. Number 5, Ferentari.
Romania. Yes, I have one success.
Romania, Bucharest. Well, we are already back in Romania, and this is a country with a long socialist planning traditions that evoked in mass urbanization back in the days. And this urbanization has affected almost every city in Romania. Well, the first years after the 1989 revolution caused end of housing planning by the government, so these neighborhoods were not getting any money from the state. Ferentari is a typical
Google
example
Maps.
of post-socialist ghetto where many segregated
Yeah, I've been to Bucharest. It's very sad to see such a huge, once glorious city because the buildings are awesome and huge, and you see that they were awesome once, but nobody took care of them for the last 80 years. So yeah, they're pretty run down. It's very sad to see.
groups now live. Fortunately, things have changed a lot since then, when publications like Daily Mail were ranking Romania 4th on a list of the most dangerous places in the world to visit, with almost 70,000 crimes committed each year. Today,
What crimes?
the neighborhood is starting to look just like a
What's
regular
the crimes?
neighborhood in Bucharest.
Pickpocketing?
But there's still
Murder?
a bit of work
big
left to be
difference.
done. More and more families and working class people are moving in. The buildings are being renovated, supermarkets are being built, restaurants are being opened, and regular people with normal lifestyles live here. Alright guys, I hope the best for this neighborhood. And we can get to number 4. Number 4, Stolipino neighborhood.
Got 2
in
out of 5,
Plovdiv,
right?
Bulgaria. This district is located on the outskirts of the city of Plovdiv, and it's probably the
Plovdiv.
biggest gypsy or Romani ghetto in the Balkans. But this
Really?
one differs from other Roma communities in Bulgaria, as only 5,000 inhabitants identify themselves as Christian and Romani-speaking Roma,
What's the rest?
since the Muslim and Turkish-speaking majority claims to be of Turkish origin. Now let's talk kind of about the history and where the problem started. As in Romania after 1989 revolution, there have been almost no investments in the neighborhood.
Why not?
In combination of illegal housing, this led to severe problems with regards to electricity and water supply. And all of this rapidly increased poverty and bad living conditions, which makes this place one of the worst places to live in Europe.
Really?
Number 3.
I mean, this looks kind of like East Berlin. A little bit more dirty, but...
Which makes this place one of the worst places to live in Europe. Number 3, Chanov, Czech Republic.
Really?
This small district
That's a
in the
surprise.
outskirts of the most city has been built for miners that were working in the nearby factory in 1978. They lived there together with Roma coming from Slovakia. The buildings could not kept in good condition, and in the end, most of the inhabitants left, and today it serves as a Roma ghetto.
Well, it's basically
Living
abandoned.
conditions
then,
there are so
They all
bad
left.
that the place is one of the worst ghettos in Central Europe. In any case, we can expect the demolition of one of these buildings in the near future, as the Czech government has announced that in 2022 it will take place. Number 2, Lunik 9.
I wish he would give a more insight into this, like, places, you know. He's just briefly mentioning this for like 30 seconds. I want to know more.
Eastern Slovakia. This location is not so far from the number 3. We're situated in eastern Slovakia, in the second biggest Slovak
What?
city called Košice. On the
Oh my
outskirts,
god.
there's a ghetto called Lunik 9. There's one pretty strange thing about this
That's
nasty
not safe.
neighborhood, and it's that it used to be a very modern area with very decent quality of living. It was inhabited by police and army forces and their families. Minority were Roma people. The task of the police and other forces was to
This guy's just making YouTube videos using Google Maps Street View. This is funny. But what he's showing is not funny.
integrate the Roma into
very sad.
society and life in this place. However, they did not integrate into society, and the officers began to leave the city. Therefore, the city had no supervision and became a place without any laws. The break occurred when gypsies from illegal camps moved here, without knowing how to use modern
Just a second. Is it discriminatory today to use the term gypsy? Because he's saying that all the time. What's the right term to use?
devices. They lived here on their own. Today, the city is full of garbage and houses are in terrible condition. The once modern city is now the largest ghetto in Europe.
In Europe. In
Yet
Slovakia.
before we start with number one, I would like to mention that number one certainly does not mean the worst. Because in this case, it's definitely not the worst. However, let's get into it.
Okay.
Number one, Naples suburbs. The Lee Valley residential complex
Naples.
in the Naples suburbs, which is infamously known as an organized crime scene, will be demolished as the city management decided. The housing estate is a symbol of brutalist architecture, poverty,
Wow,
and
Jesus.
mafia gangs. It became infamous in 2004 when the whole of Europe witnessed one of the greatest wars of the local clans. Residents of the housing estate now hope that the dark period in their suburbs, which was later made famous by the series, will end up with
What
demolition.
serious? What is he talking
Okay,
about?
guys, I hope
He's just mentioning stuff and not.
the dark period in their suburbs, which was later made famous by the series, will end up with demolition. Okay, guys.
Okay, guys. Well, I would have loved to get more information. You know, he's just putting information out there and not like mentioning more. What happened? I don't know anything about the Naples crime war. Was it famous? At what point in history? Come on. What is this? Is this not good research? Yeah? This is not the German way. You want more information. I would say good attempt in making this video. It's very sad to see part of Europe deteriorate like that. But if you do a video like that, please think about the script more. Yeah, like you need to give more infos. You could have easily made this 8-minute video and it would have been better, you know. Less is not always better, okay? I would have expected some areas to be in France, south of France, maybe Marseille. There's some really dangerous areas there, like ghettos. Yeah, but other than that, maybe Sicily. I don't know. I would love to see more about this. And it's very sad to see that Europe as a whole is not taking any like proper action to fight these ghettos and to help them, you know. Not to fight the people there, but to help them, to make the situation better for everyone. Because if everybody feels better, it's a better place to live, right? And with that said, see you guys tomorrow.